The University of East Anglia has been a world leader in climate change study for over 30 years. It's also home to Carbon Connections, which funds low carbon innovation, and CRED, the Carbon Reduction Programme. Carbon Connections is funding a pioneering scheme, pairing third-year environmental sciences students with local organisations. The aim is to get them to work together to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. Student Amy Etheridge was teamed up with chemical company Bayer Crop Science at their Norwich plant. Bayer Crop Science is an international chemical manufacturing company who already had energy and carbon saving projects underway.
What we have done is monitored our energy usage, looking to reduce year on year. But by last year we were getting to a point where we'd plateaued in terms of reduction. And what we wanted to really do was to try and kick-start it again to another level. Via Carbon Connections, we saw that as a good way of trying to actually reduce our carbon footprint in general.
I think it's really important that companies get involved and actively reduce their carbon footprint, because the larger companies need to be seen to be active and to be making reductions. Otherwise the smaller companies and the individuals won't feel the inclination that they need to do anything at home.
Amy started by formalising the site's carbon footprint information.
When I first came onto the site, they didn't have any formal procedure of how to calculate their carbon footprint. So that was the first thing that I did, was actually set about implementing a procedure so that it can be there can be some continuity year on year in the calculation. So we've got the 2006 and the 2007 reports. It enables site management to see whereabouts the carbon emissions are coming from and what areas have the biggest carbon emissions, in so much as fuel combustion or refrigerant gases or waste disposal or things like that. There's a breakdown but gets reported to the Norwich management team. So I think it's important that there is a formal report with an absolute figure of a carbon footprint for any business to have, so that that there's a benchmark for year-on-year progress. In
our case, Amy coming along has identified what our carbon footprint is, has given us a baseline that we are starting now to move or reduce, and that will carry on. Once Amy's gone, that will help us. So it's certainly, as an initiator, as a catalyst to reducing your carbon footprint, Carbon Connections and Amy's entry onto the site has really helped us.
As part of her work, Amy's been involved in a new scheme to centralise and manage the air compressors on the site. Once completed, the new compressor plant will be more efficient and work on demand, resulting in a considerable energy saving.
There's an expected reduction in the first year of about 40 tonnes of carbon dioxide.
That's the figure that we're looking at.
Yeah, energy savings of about £11,000 were expected. So
probably more now at the price of electricity. The way it's
yeah, so there will be continual savings on the site long after I've left, but it's going to be a good project to get involved with.
Amy's been involved in the company's biodiversity projects, and also worked on a scheme to update the thermostats on the north side of the plant to new energy-efficient models. In older buildings, inefficient heating can be a big cause of wasted energy. Changing the attitudes and behaviour of the Bayer Crop Science employees was a big part of Amy's work at the company.
The bigger employers like Bayer Crop Science, they can affect 300 people that they employ, and they can make people more aware of environmental issues. And if that happens to every single big company, then that's the majority of people they're reaching out to, so they realise that they can actually make a difference and have an impact.
Amy decided to hand out reusable jute bags to every member of staff in return for energy-saving pledges.
Ta-da! So you've got lots.
By getting people to think about their energy usage, either at work or at home, that then starts to get them to think on a wider basis as to, right, do we need these motors running? Do we need these fans on?
I want the individual to realise that they can make a difference in reducing the carbon footprint, not only whilst they're at work on the site, but in their everyday journeys, in their commutes, in their houses, taking things back to the personal level so that people realise that they do have something that they can get involved in and make a difference with.
In her work at Bayer Crop Science, Amy has tried to put carbon saving at the top of the agenda.
I think it's really important that businesses have a grasp of what their carbon footprint is. It's good to report it to the public, it's good for corporate social responsibility, everything like that, just to have an idea of the environmental impact of a business. I think it's something that a lot more people need to be aware of.